Welcome back, everyone, and as always, here we got some great bands featured here on the program. That probably is the first time you hear from them here on the program and elsewhere. But listen, it's great to know that we are that gate that allows you to hear to some great new sounds. And right now, it's a great pleasure to have this young man, Joey Varela of VRSTY, joining us right now on the program. Make sure that you head on over to your favorite streaming platform and click on that follow button. VRSTY, they have the new single Shameless, and their EP Cloud City will be out soon. So Joey, thanks so much for your time and joining us, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
So Joey, you guys been at it for some time now. 2015 is what I got here, so about 5 years now. And you've been putting a lot of EPs, but you got a Shameless. Shameless is out right now. You got the Cloud City. What can you tell us about this EP, and any chances now that we're going to get a full-blown album from you guys?
Oh, nice. A two-parter. The EP, honestly, I love this EP. This is the first time with this EP that I actually got to, I got a bunch of time to, actually write the music and start talking more about things that I've always wanted to talk about. Because with the last EPs, we kind of, as a young band, we were touring so much, we kind of rushed through them. With this one, we took our time. I'm super excited for everyone to hear it because I absolutely love it. And yes, we actually just got out of the studio in September. We were there from August 8th to about September 15th, recording a full-length record, which I have no idea when it's going to come out, but you will definitely hear a full record sometime soon.
Well, looking forward to that. So before we jump the gun here, and then you can maybe let us in a little secret about the full-blown album. But Cloud City, the EP, you guys been putting out some great EPs. In the meantime, kind of giving us a good gist of what the band is all about, dating back here to Blck Deluxe. Of course, Blck Deluxe was in 2019 last year. And then again, the new song Shameless. You know, there was one song that just caught my attention. And I see that you reference, as a vocalist, some really trendy favorite, I guess, lyrics from songs. Like, I know you mentioned Billie Jean in one of them.
Yeah.
And then I think it's Unity. You mentioned it's one of my favorite Eminem songs, I Could Be Your Superman. So was that an inspiration from that? Like, you take some of these popular songs and put them with your great voice and then and the whole metal sound, the new core in the background?
Well, so here's the thing about it. I grew up listening to Eminem, Michael Jackson, all these crazy great artists, Yeah. And that's where my singing background comes from. I listen to a lot of pop music and trap music now, and I always notice in that realm of music, like that, that genres and stuff like that, they oftentimes reference their peers, other musicians in songs, or, they do callbacks to the greats and stuff like that. And I don't really hear that much in metal.
You're right.
So I just decided, you know what? I'm going to do that. I love, there's a bunch of artists I love that had these crazy sick lines before. And so I put them in the songs as little Easter eggs to see if anyone catches them. And sometimes people do, most of the time people don't. You obviously did catch someone. I think you might be the second person who caught the Superman in Unity.
Yeah, when I caught that, I'm like, wait a minute, it sounds very familiar.
Dude, I love Eminem. Oh, man.
Yeah, and I remember the video, where the girl's drunk and she's walking down the steps and she falls. Yeah. So it took me back to that. But that's good to know that you're doing such a thing, because you're right. Usually when it comes to the matter, especially now, I guess most of the references are very personal, right? You got suicide sometimes, you got depression, some anger, but not so much references to pop, and it's quite pretty cool. You get, of course, you get your relationships, but that's pretty cool. You're paying homage to some of the greats and the legends using the metal platform.
Yeah, I mean, I might as well. To be honest, the way I see it is, when I was younger, I got into music because I heard these people doing this thing that I fell in love with. I would have never known that I could even sing unless I saw Michael Jackson, or known that I can do fast type lyrics had I not practice to like Eminem or anyone else like that. So I always find that it's it's a good thing to pay homage to like the artist who inspired you and got you to jump into like the whole music business and singing, playing guitar, whatever it is that you do.
And lately I've been seeing a lot of bands like yours that have a very talented singer with the whole metal sounds in the background. Slaves is another band. I know you've collaborated with them, and it seems to be picking up. Because usually when you think of metal, right, you get this disgruntled voice and anger and all of that. But who would have thought you got like a sweet voice singing behind these sounds? You know what I mean? It's like, what? And it's picking up steam.
Yeah, I noticed it's really picking up now. It wasn't. I guess it kind of started a while ago, but it wasn't as prominent in the scene as it is now.
Now, are you of Hispanic descent? By any chance?
Yeah, I'm Puerto Rican and Italian. So
Puerto Rican, all right. So are we gonna get some Spanish songs out of you? Do you speak Spanish?
I do speak Spanish. So oddly enough, there is some songs of mine where I sing Spanish. I'm not sure if those are gonna come out anytime soon.
All right.
But I did do that recently. When we went to the studio, there was some songs where I was like, yo, I wanna sing in Spanish, and my producer was all about it. He literally was all about that. It's not, that's something that I also grew up listening to, like Frankie Ruiz and stuff like that.
Right.
And like Celia Cruz and things like that. I'm not sure if you're familiar with those artists.
Of course I am.
I used to listen to them, and I sing Spanish as well. Might as well put that into our music too.
I was about to tell you got to do maybe like some sort of like combination of bachata or salsa or cumbia, and you put it. I mean, why not, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I actually thought about that already. When I figure out how to make that a good combination with metal, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, because see, I've heard. Okay, so let's see. I know there's some bands like, for example, Nonpoint, and they do have they sing in Spanish, but they do have some Latin beats into it, like they'll get like tambores or things like that. Incorporating the bachata sound, which is always pretty much the same sound. That would be a pretty unique sound to mix it in with the metal. Yeah,
it actually be sick. Like bachata is like that would be like super sick to add into the metal.
Yeah, the unique. I can't think of anyone that has done that, and you might be the pioneer.
No pressure.
No, you might just create a new genre. I don't know what you would call it, bachata metal. I wouldn't know, but
I don't know, bachata core.
But listen, it's so cool because as metal, when you think of metal, it's just aggressive, like I said, dark, and people just fighting in a pit. But it's expanded so much that so many great bands, talented, are not just from the United States or other like Russia or Norway, some of these places that were known for metal. But you got bands from like Japan, India, and they're mixing in their sounds. There's some metal bands that are mixing in that Bollywood sound, and it's like, what the hell? So why not with the Spanish? It's just a matter of time.
Oh yeah, it's definitely just a matter of time. Music has to branch out anyway. Like if you stay on one thing and you do the one same thing forever, it's just like breakdowns and screams, then it'll never grow. But if you start adding in different styles and different like types of music, it becomes more accessible to other people.
So Joey, growing up, were you always involved with music? Were you in chorus or were you in a musical group in school?
I wish I was. I was not. So I used to sing at home. Pretty much, that's it. I would put on like Michael Jackson cassettes, and I would sing and dance to his music at home. But in school, I didn't do any of that stuff, man. I was like a really shy, timid kid, and I would just come home and play like video games or something and sing. But it was always to myself.
So, would you say? So you would sing some Michael Jackson, maybe some Spanish music at home?
Yeah, so it was a lot of Michael Jackson and Frank Sinatra.
So I would presume that maybe at like house parties, Latinos, they like to get together and sing and dance and do wild parties. Would you sing at one of these functions?
Wait, what was that again?
Would you sing at some of these family functions by any chance? Would you sing?
Not really. I was super shy. People asked me to sing because my mom knew that I can sing, and she would always tell the family, like, oh, he can sing, like make him sing, and people would try to bribe me for $1 to sing. But I was so shy that I never really, I never really did it.
Well, I ask you this because, you know, with our moms, our Hispanic moms, they, they,
Oh
they,
yeah,
they,
yeah.
they value our men, and I'm sure they're like, oh, mi niño, he has a great voice, yada, yada, yada. So what was her reaction when you played the music? You got this nice, sweet voice, and you got this hardcore sounds in the background.
So when I first started doing like the whole like metal music,
Mm.
oddly enough, I didn't start off as a singer. I knew I could sing, but I was the guitarist for a band that was like all screaming.
Mm.
And I showed it to my parents, and my dad, he was into it. My stepdad, he's into everything. My mom hated it because she didn't understand anything or didn't understand what was going on. But when I transitioned into being a singer and she started listening to me put my voice over things that were heavy, she's been on board the entire time.
That,
So
that.
I always got the support from my mom and my parents to like kind of do this.
So they've seen you perform live at a concert in the mosh pits and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, my mom loves it. My mom loves coming to my shows.
All right, but please don't tell me you put her in a mosh pit now.
Oh no, I don't do that. I keep her away from that. Usually, I keep her by the merch table where it's safe.
Okay. I got to listen. I was in wrestling, and my mother would never go see me wrestle because she was afraid. So, um, it's just Hispanic. Not all, but most Hispanic moms are like they're very cautious and caring about, especially if you're like a single child and a man, and they take care of you like a porcelain doll. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a little too much, but you understand. You know what I mean? So
Yep,
what's
I
going
definitely
on?
do.
So now with the music, you said Corona, of course, it gave you an opportunity to really kick back and write. So what are the plans? Of course, we don't know when the hell we're gonna get on stage, but are you guys maybe thinking of putting something online to give the fans to sing? Like a virtual concert, which some of the bands are doing right now as we speak.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, our plan right now, because obviously we can't tour, is to have as many songs as possible, get as many videos as possible, and then also in between that, try to do some live concerts for people, just so that they can, they get some music from us, they get some visuals, and then they also get, like some sense of like at least like a live, I guess, interpretation while they're home and stuff like that, until we can actually tour.
Gotcha. Yeah, that. It's so difficult, because I know, especially I feel for you guys, you want to show your skills, your talents, and yeah, you can write and you can sing all you want in the studio, but it's all about the repetitions that you get performing live when you really find out how much you could push your talents.
Yeah, there's something about performing live that like really like conditions and makes the artist who they actually are. So like singing at home and singing in the studio is fun because you're still singing and you're getting your music, but there's nothing like live shows. Like that energy is it's unlike anything else.
So, with this pandemic, anything that really has inspired you to write? Maybe you have a notepad there you've been holding for that you've been collecting all these lyrics and putting in pen to paper, and then one day eventually make it onto a song. And what are some of those things? Did you experience something personally, or a good friend that went through something during these times, whether it be a loss or financial issues that have prompted you to create a song?
Yeah, well, I've honestly gone through all of that. I've had loss this year, same thing, financial issues because business is shut down and
Right.
I'm not touring. But mostly, I've just been inspired by people. I know this might sound weird, but I noticed that over the pandemic, more people are more vocal about their opinions and thoughts and their views on like the way the world should be or should it be and things like that. And I've been inspired by the conversations that people have with other people or that I've had with people just about how things should work or the world, where the world is going. And I've actually written bunches of songs about that because everyone kind of thinks differently and you don't know until you talk to somebody. But most people these days, you don't really talk. They're on social media. You'll get a like or whatever. They'll comment on whatever, and then that's the end of the conversation. But over the time, that I've been home during this quarantine, I've got to have like many conversations with people and understand how people think and everything else, and just decided to start writing music about that.
Yeah, and you're right about that. Since not many of us are, some choose to stay home, and you're not able to see family. You get to follow what they're doing with their lives on social media, and unfortunately, some of it is it's not good. But they're suffering. They're stressed out. Yes, the virus is killing people, but so is their personal lives, whether it be they're struggling with depression or financial, etc. So many things out there. And music for many. As you, of course, you're a lyricist, you're an artist, you're a performer, but for some people, going to a concert is something that they look forward to because it's their way of releasing all that stress or anxiety that they have. It's the opportunity to meet their friends and just go all out crazy. I mean,